Welcome back. It is Wednesday, which means it's press day for the Sagersville Independent, which means tomorrow I'll be talking about everything new and exciting and important that will most all, if not every single thing, be a must read. We hope you pick up an edition tomorrow. Hard at work on the paper. They are, even at this hour, about to wrap up, and it will be on newsstands bright and early. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Glad to have you with me tonight. We'll talk with, of course, our public health director tonight. A reminder about the big change up at the health department, as well as some few new details, I should say, about the vaccine efforts there and when they will be receiving those second rounds or doses for those who got the first at the McGoffin County Health Department. We'll also have some state announcements as well and information and data in regards to the coronavirus. Basketball scores, a few updates for you. A few teams, their schedules being changed daily due to the coronavirus and the pandemic. We'll talk about that and see how well everyone is adjusting there. Your McGoffin County Fiscal Court meeting coverage from last night, as well as, just to give you a little FYI, the McGoffin County Board of Education meets tomorrow night, Sagersville City Council next Monday night. So all that local governmental meeting coverage to come very soon. Let's begin with some local COVID information. We'll begin in Floyd County. 30 new cases yesterday. I don't have today's numbers yet from Floyd County, but 30 new cases yesterday. That's 2,420 total cases in Floyd County. They've got 12 people hospitalized, 276 active cases, and they too are, as are all other, essentially, Kentucky health departments, getting a lot of phone calls about the vaccine. The Floyd County Health Department is saying that they as well are starting to get their second doses for those who received their first at the health department. But after those and those that are allotted for them for their K through 12 personnel, that is all the state will be sending them. And that vaccine will be coming from vaccine centers or clinics that are to be established by the state, but that the Floyd County Health Department, like the McGoffin and others, have not received any details about those clinics, when and how they're going to be held. Johnson County had 18 new cases yesterday, bringing their total to 1,560. While here in McGoffin, we are still averaging essentially 5 a day for the past week, nearly 2.
We got another 5 cases today, so like you say, we've been averaging that kind of number the last week. We have 843 total cases as of today, and we have 23 isolated, and we have 1 hospitalized.
I just wanted to get an update with you. Of course, we had a major revelation about the vaccine, and the McGoffin County Health Department no longer going to be giving it after you take care of what you have to. Anything new on that front today?
No, I just want to tell everybody that if you had your first dose at the McGoffin County Health Department, you will come to the health department to get your second dose, and we will call you. You don't have to call the health department. We will call you with your appointment when to come. We also will be doing the teachers next week, the week of July 25th. We will get our allotment for all their personnel, and that if you are on our list to get the vaccine for the first dose, you will not be getting it now. You need to call some of the centers around that's got it, and or get on the internet and get your appointments. I apologize. That's just the way the state's decided to do things, and we had no control over that. We would love to give everybody in McGoffin County their first dose and their second dose, but we're not going to be allowed to do that at this time, and don't look like we will be able to do it in the near future either. So just get on, call your local hospitals. Most of them, all of them have doses now to give the 70 and over. So go ahead and call and get an appointment, or get online and make your appointment.
You stress not to call for those who are in line to get their second dose, but do you know when you're going to be receiving that, or when you're going to at least start that process?
We receive our second doses tomorrow. We will start the process tomorrow. We already have the ones that was on the first day on that. It might take us another week or 2 to get all of those. It's not really a time-sensitive thing. We've got 3 or 4 weeks to get that, or 5 weeks to get that second dose. We might have to interrupt that process to get the teachers. The teachers are the priority to get the kids back in school and stuff. So next week, when we get the allotment for the teachers, we will drop that those people that for the second dose, do the teachers, and then pick up the second dose on these other people, other patients that we have the next week.
McGoffin County Fiscal Court meeting coverage is next. Go with All Pro, and you'll always get a perfectly finished project backed by decades of experience and thousands of satisfied customers. Always with the best prices on everything from small to large remodels, bathrooms to kitchens to entire homes, or turnkey new construction on everything from garages, homes to retail space. And seamless gutters, too. And All Pro still offers 0% financing for up to 18 months and long-term low interest rates on those big projects. For an estimate, call this family-owned business today.
I'm Dr. Jason Zimmerman at Highlands ARH, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
Of all the boxes you've been opening, this one right here will always be the tastiest, because inside is our famous recipe for the meal dreams are made of. Hot pies, stuffed with everything you crave. Always hot and always fresh. Always at your Sagersville, Lee's famous recipe. Meeting in regular session last night, the Magauffa County Fiscal Court started with, of course, some customary monthly business, payment of bills and the like, and after a monthly transfer of funds, this time $20,000 instead of what is usually closer to $40,000, but still tens of thousands of dollars transferred from the general fund to the jail fund to cover housing of county inmates. Judge Matt Wyman spoke of his sitting in on last month's Big Sandy Regional Detention Center Jail Authority Board meeting with an increase, he says, in what counties pay quite possible.
After our last fiscal court meeting, I was in on a jail board meeting, and we had quite a lively discussion about the jail. And I've received about 100 and some pages of financials. They're dead set on increasing the rate from 25 to some number. They initially tried to pass a motion trying to make it 50, but that failed. Now they want the county judges, because we were all on there, and they're wanting us to tell them what we want to pay. I told them, well, I want to pay zero.
Yeah.
But we know that won't work. The state is $32.50. I think Brown County's new jail is $31.50, $32.50. I don't really want to pay that either, but I can't say I can't go against what market is. But they're still going to have to make that decision. But I quite emphatically reminded them that we have other options, with the bracelets, and that's $10 or $12 depending on the phone service they have. Is that right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So either way, the jail's struggling, and they're projecting with what they've looked at of probably being deficit by June 30. Now, I've not got this straight yet, because I've been trying to look at the financials, and it's basically a printout from QuickBooks, I think. But I don't know if that's going to be a year operating deficit, or it's going to be actually they got a cash deficit. And by operating, I mean their expenses exceed their revenues, not including any reserves they have. I know the issues are there with not having the inmates, and their rationale is this is a revenue problem, not an expense problem. But I got the same problem here. If I give them more of my money, that's less I can spend here. So I've got to cut expenses. So my recommendation is going to be to them when they meet again, and I'm afforded the opportunity to speak. They're going to have to come through with a expense, a budget reduction of some sort. You can't sit there and say we're going to keep spending the same money when we got less clientele. As a school district, they get funded and fund schools based on enrollment. When the kids decline, the money declines, the staff declines. If the jail's lost 100 inmates, you can't tell me it takes the same amount of people to watch 100 less people.
Yeah, that's right.
I hate to see anybody lose their job, but it's going to be there or here. And I don't want it either place, but I have been talking to the legislators and lobbying for more money, and I've sent emails to our representatives in DC and here, and talked to them on the phone and their representatives. So we'll see what happens. But I agree, 20,000. If it went to 50 and we're spending 400 to 500,000 a year at $25, that's 800,000 to $1 million.
Yeah.
Now, where am I gonna get that?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's unfortunate. I mean, I grew up in law enforcement. People do wrong, I want to see them go to jail. When I was sitting there as judge, I can't afford to put them under. So, it's a double.
Judge Wireman said, in looking for other answers as well, that he has been lobbying for more money for counties like Magoffin with legislators and reaching out to legislators not just in Kentucky but those in D.C. as well, hoping to find some sort of resolve that would benefit both the jail and, of course, the county finances. And from finances to ethics, the next discussion that we'll cover, which comes after last year, the Magoffin County Fiscal Court passing a new ethics code, the first since the law was enacted to do so as such back in 1994. And in doing so, they all voted to appoint 3 individuals to this ethics board.
It's a work in progress. We still got a few things to get caught up on. There's financial disclosure forms that has to be done for all elected officials and future candidates. But one of them is putting together a ethics board. That's all these things are requirements of the law. One thing the state auditor's done is done an analysis of everybody's ethics code in the state of Kentucky, and we was one of the ones that had actually went and reviewed and changed. There's a lot of counties that still haven't even updated theirs since 1994, but we got a check mark for that one. But we don't have the committee together, and we don't have the financial disclosure forms ready to go yet. So we got those are things that we got to correct. So the board has to be staggered. It is a 4-year term, but in the first nominations and appointments, they have to go in 2, 3, and 4. Then after 2 years is up, whoever gets appointed will be a 4-year, and then after the 3 years is up, it'll be a 4-year, and so on. So I'm gonna make the motion that we, for a 2-year term, we appoint Lucinda Cornett with a term ending January the 30th of 2023, with a 3-year term ending on January 30th, 2024, Grover Arnott, the attorney, Grover Arnott, and with a 4-year term, January 30th, 2025, Don McFarland.
All voted in favor of appointing those 3 to the ethics board. They then, as well, voted to fill the vacancy of the county road foreman by hiring Tommy Salyer. And the judge also noted to the public that the county was, quote, going just as hard as they could go in an attempt to gravel roads, fix potholes, and other problems, all caused by normal wear and tear, but as well the winter weather. I'll be right back. Nearly everything today is about being safe and well, and Parkway Pharmacy has 2 great ways to get your prescriptions quickly, safely, and conveniently. Simply pull up curbside and call and let them know you're there, or circle around the building and drive through. And just in, a fresh inventory of Atalo, premium CBD oil and cream products for managing pain, anxiety, depression, rest, digestion, and more. All at Parkway Pharmacy in Salyersville.
Are you tired of the same old cell phone? Want a brand new phone but really don't want to pay hundreds of dollars up front for it? Then Appalachian Wireless has the deal for you. Get the phone you actually want instead of settling for a cheaper phone with the Appalachian Advantage plan. Instead of paying $400 or more for the best phone, simply pay the taxes up front, then a few bucks more on your monthly bill. Stop by your local Appalachian Wireless store or dealer today for more information. It's the better, simpler way to pay, and it's called the Appalachian Advantage. Better service, bigger savings. That's today's Appalachian Wireless.
This home is back on the market in Dixie of Salyersville, just steps away from the Ramey Park and downtown. One family owned since the 1950s. It's practically ready to move into and perfect for a remodel that would make it an incredible home and investment. Original hardwood floors throughout, an extra large upstairs, 4 bedrooms in all, 2 baths, a basement, serviced central heat and air, all on a prime lot well over a half an acre. And the original asking price of $147,500 has been reduced. Call 606-349-3699 for an appointment to view or for more information. Several things to discuss tonight pertaining to our governor. He actually yesterday vetoed 5 different articles of legislation that were all designed to limit the executive power that he has used per the coronavirus pandemic. Those, of course, vetoes likely face an uncertain fate, or maybe not so uncertain, as Kentucky Republicans have majorities in both the Senate and the House of Kentucky to put down those vetoes by a legislative override. Their session beginning early next month. Nevertheless, it was several House bills and Senate bills, all which were aimed at taking power from the governor, from the executive branch to the legislative branch in pertaining to handling the pandemic, any other such natural disasters or emergencies. He also as well vetoed one, I think that was House Bill 2, which was designed to give the Attorney General legality or authority, if you will, over Kentucky's abortion laws. Again, those expected to be met with a different fate once they reach the legislative session. Beshear, however, apparently being approved of by other governors across the nation, signaling their approval of what he has done for Kentucky. The National Governors Association announced today that alongside a Republican governor from South Carolina, Beshear will lead the bipartisan task force that has been set to lead states in recovery economically and otherwise per the pandemic. He will co-chair the Economic Recovery and Revitalization Task Force, which will be guiding states on many issues, everything from infrastructure to energy to, of course, everything else that deals with the problems that persist with a pandemic as well. While the governor, with no formal press conference today, announced what is, by my calculation, turning to today's COVID update, the 4th deadliest day since the pandemic began. Today, the governor's office said that the positivity rate is still below 12%. It's 5 days in a row now, today at 11.29%. And as of 4 o'clock today, new cases came in at 3,433. New deaths, though, as I referred to, almost 50, 49 today. Total deaths in Kentucky, 3,243. Currently hospitalized, 1,678. Almost 400 in the ICU, and half of those, a little more than half, on ventilators across the Commonwealth. The governor also taking time to issue a statement today to congratulate President Biden and Vice President Harris, of course, after being sworn in earlier today in our nation's capital. Up next, your McGoffin Farm Bureau community calendar with a few community announcements on it. First off, it's time. 2021 rootstock orders being taken right now through February the 5th at the McGoffin County Extension Service for a variety of apples and pears. Get your orders in today. And if you have any questions, of course, call them 349-3216. Apple and pear grafting rootstock orders now through February the 5th. The Water Into Wine Food Pantry wants me to remind everyone their pantry day, Wednesdays of the month, 9 till 11:30. And remember, the parking lot closes at 11:15, so you've got to be there before then. And that Senior Commodity Day is the third Thursday of the month, 12:30 till 3 o'clock. I just got word that last year in 2020, Water Into Wine distributed over 3.5 million pounds of food to over 21,000 different clients, they say, in a record-setting year. 789 boxes per month, up from 500 a month in 2019. Yeah, I see a news story there. Commodities this Thursday as well at the McGoffin County Senior Citizen Center. They always need volunteers to help get those boxes ready and get them to the cars of their seniors. Show up if you can, a little early if you can, but show up one time at some point or other, 10:30 till 2:30, and the rear, I believe, of the McGoffin County, the Loyam Hall Community Center in the back, as they have been doing now for the past several weeks per the pandemic. And when you've got an announcement like this, just like that, or close to it, or birthdays or anniversaries, this is how you get them on the show. Nightly funeral services brought to you by the McGoffin County Funeral Home. A quick reminder of services to be held this Friday afternoon in honor of Carl D. Perkins. Carl Douglas Perkins, 63, of Missouri, but formerly of Magoffin County, survived by his companion Shirley York, as well as son Josh Lemaster, brothers William Paul, Gregory, and Billy Ray Perkins, and sisters Janet Faye Atkins and Rebecca Jane Morales, as well as 2 grandkids. That's this Friday, 1 o'clock at the New Life Worship Center. And 67-year-old Barbara Allen Ritchie of Richmond, formerly of Magoffin County, passed away Saturday, the daughter of the late John Henry and Lily Hall, survived by her daughter Sherry Michelle Dupree, 2 granddaughters Lily and Ellie Rose, sisters Elizabeth Adams and Charlotte Ruth, brother Billy Florence, and brother-in-law Bige Hunley. She was preceded in death by her husband, former husband Doug Allen. Funeral services again held this Saturday morning at 11 from the Magoffin County Funeral Home. And I've been told of the passing today of 85-year-old Eula Bailey Sloan of Hillard, Ohio, daughter of the late Ben Bailey and America Hall Bailey. She's preceded in death by her husband Monroe Sloan Jr. and survived by her sister Mary Lou Arnott of here in Sagersville. Friends can call Thursday of this week 5 to 7 at the Canaan Land Baptist Church, but a special memorial service is going to be held here in Magoffin County this Saturday at the Flat Fork Free Will Baptist Church. And in Flowers, the family asks that you just simply donate to a charity close to your heart, as Eula would have done. I'll be right back. Know that life cannot come to a complete standstill because of the pandemic, but we can make sure that you can continue to bank safely and securely by calling either branch of the Sagersville National Bank to schedule any in-lobby services, or by using either of our drive-thrus. Mondays through Fridays, the main drive-thru is open from 8 until 3, and the branch drive-thru is open from 8 until 5, and the branch drive-thru is also open on weekends, Saturdays 8 until noon, with ATMs available 24/7 at both locations. Or by taking advantage of our completely free 24-hour internet banking and bill pay, banking by phone, remote deposit, automatic payment services, and more. Sagersville National Bank, always making your banking easier and safer. Drive safe and save this winter at Conley Tire in Staffordsville, or just go to conleytire.net to see the latest specials on thousands of all-season snow and off-road tires in stock every day. And you can take 6 months to pay with no interest at Conley Tire, 297-2424. There's no missing that this is the new McFarland and Tinker Law Office location on the Mountain Parkway in the former Farm Bureau building in Sagersville, just like there's no denying that their nearly 60 years of legal experience has won their clients millions and millions of dollars in disability, auto accident, and wrongful death cases. It's where your case matters to you and to us. McFarland and Tinker, also Griffey approved. Real quickly, let's get caught up on the ever-changing basketball schedules, as of course COVID-19 cancellations continue to force rescheduling, cancellations for high school basketball. The Magoffin County boys team as well, one of those, which right now is set to come back to play next Monday. Yeah, the boys, after realizing that they had been exposed during a game at home back on the 12th, have now canceled 4 games out of their regular season schedule, and they'll be off all the way through the rest of this week, the weekend. But once again, our plan, just confirmed through Coach Castle, are to be back in action on the road, however, Monday night at Shelby Valley. The boys sitting idly on a 2-3 record thus far after, of course, a big loss at Central. The Lady Hornets, though, still in action, and in fact, they were on the road last night, traveled to Betsy Lane, came back with a loss, though. That's their 3rd in a row. Puts the Lady Hornets right now still with 2 wins but 4 losses. The Lady Hornets are off tonight and tomorrow night, but a home game is in the mix for this week, hosting Pike County Central this Friday night. I'm told tip-off set for 6 o'clock for the Lady Hornets. The Tigers of Paintsville, they've had a COVID cancellation, but that was due to Magoffin County not being able to play. That game was supposed to be here at home this Thursday night for Magoffin and Paintsville, but that one's canceled. So Paintsville right now last played Johnson Central. That was actually just last night, a 55-68 loss for the Tigers to Central. The Tigers right now sitting on, I don't have it updated on your screen for some reason, but 2 wins and 3 losses, and the Tigers as well will be at Martin County this Saturday. Lady Tigers, though, of Paintsville, they've got some COVID complications with their schedule. They've had to cancel for the last 3 games. They couldn't play Jenkins last night. They're not going to be able to play this Friday, and they also had a game set for Saturday at Prestonsburg as they are dealing with the coronavirus for the Lady Tigers team. But they are right now set to host Floyd Central next Tuesday night, hoping to get back to action after a little bit of a COVID-related break. The Johnson Central Golden Eagles last played Paintsville, as I told you last night, 68-55. The boys from Central are 5-1. They are at Martin County tomorrow night. They are hosting East Ridge at home Friday, and then at Fleming County this Saturday. And for the Lady Eagles, rolling 6 in a row for the Lady Eagles. They opened up a loss of the season. Opened up the season with a loss, but they've made up for it and continue to hammer right on. Last night, they took down Valley 50-44, and Friday night, they're hosting East Ridge. And that will lead me to your Licking Valley RECC Outlook, where we're going to wrap it up for this evening with some even colder temperatures than what we were talking about just this time last night, to the tune of about a 14-degree low. Now, that's not tonight, but it's coming soon. 28 degrees is where we should bottom out tonight for your Wednesday. As just a quick reminder, the Powerball jackpot is like $10 billion or something. Okay, it's not, but what's the difference, really? I mean, it's close to $1 billion. Anyway, just a reminder. And another reminder, remember your favorite local news personality. You know, your only local news personality, but whatever there as well. More clouds tonight as clouds will increase. Southwesterly winds, still breezy out there. Winds are not going anywhere until after tomorrow. So 3 to 16 miles per hour tonight, a low of 28 tomorrow. We'll see about 46 degrees for your Thursday, and we'll see sunshine with partly sunny as well, but still winds out of the west-southwest up to 16, 18 miles per hour at times. And then we've got a couple of not all that strong cold fronts to deal with, and one of them knocks our temperatures back down Friday and into your Saturday. Check that out. There's the 14 I speak thereof. Friday right now, partly sunny and 40 with a west wind finally waning down to the single digits, 3 to 6 miles per hour. But Friday night, mid-teens maybe low. 14 degrees right now is the estimate for nighttime lows Friday night, and that's going to be a cold Saturday morning. We'll hit 37 Saturday with still sunny and clear skies, but only at 37. Good news is the winds should be gone by the time Saturday gets here. And for the latter half of your weekend, Sunday 47 and partly sunny, and then another cold front comes and starts to give us shower chances. A chance of them late Sunday night after 3 a.m., but Monday looks to be a wet one for the most part. Showers are likely on and off throughout the day. We'll hit about 51 degrees, and then colder air behind that gives us partly sunny, a 30% chance of showers Tuesday with 44 degrees. Wednesday, low 40s again, and some clouds, rain, maybe changing over to a few flakes at the end of your Wednesday. And that's going to wrap it up for this Wednesday. I hope you have an edition of the Sayersville Independent in your hand before I have one in mind talking to you about it. Another big week set for tomorrow. A lot of sporting news. You know, we've got a sports writer, and he's able to contribute a lot of his time to getting a lot of great stories in the newspaper, and that's where you'll find some great read as always, as well as a host of other news and information. And our historic page looks to be another must-read this week, as well as our headlines that Heather Oney has been working on, which will include the latest details on the deadly shooting that took place just this past weekend here in McGoffin County after a man threatened other individuals and with a hammer and otherwise, and was shot to death after robbing that residence. That and some other major and important news. So I'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk about that. And, of course, more news from Your News Today. Good night.